Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Joe Smith. This is Transfers Live.
Come on!
Which means it's transfers and it's live, which means you lot need to get involved in the chat in the comments. We're going to be talking about all the latest Manchester United transfer news. We're talking about Bryan Mbeumo.
Whoppa!
Whoppa, indeed. And also we're probably going to be talking about, I don't know, Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, Hugo Ekitike, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho.
Well, we're getting, there's new stuff. There's new players, new names. There's all sorts kicking off. It's literally popping off. Ardon Jashari, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, even at your age. We've got all sorts. William Carvalho, not the one that went to Sporting Lisbon that United were linked with in centre defensive midfield, is the new head performance chef. That's not the same as a chef.
What?
A performance chef. He's cooking up performances, this guy. We're going to be talking about him in a little bit.
We're going to be talking about the new chef?
Yes.
At Carrington.
Oh, you don't think food matters? Oh, have you ever heard of being alive? Yeah, it's pretty important, mate. We'll get into all that later on.
Sorry,
food matters.
Forgive me, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm amazed we haven't done this before.
Other than drink, water and air, food is the only thing
I think we've been missing a trick. We've been focusing on the players and transfers.
Yeah.
We should have been focusing on the cooking staff.
Yeah.
That's where the real action is.
We're going to look at that in a
Right,
minute.
we'll get into all that then. Sorry, I didn't mean
Carvalho.
to be so dismissive of the chef. Right, let's talk about Bryan Mbeumo.
Let's start with Bryan Mbeumo because it's been popping off today. This deal can't come soon enough. Now, I'm interested in that pun because the reinstating of producer Cam, please. Yeah, don't you hide, Harry. That suggested to me that they were confident in tonight's puns because last week we didn't even have producer Cam.
Yeah.
This deal can't come soon enough.
Yeah.
Is poor,
right.
Isn't it? Because Kama doesn't sound like come for starters.
Yeah.
And Cameroon come soon. It's not really there, is it?
Do you know what's difficult?
What's difficult is.
It's David's accent that makes it work.
Okay, David, can we hear it in your accent, David? Sorry. Helped a little bit. People at home wouldn't have heard that, and I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to do it with someone else's accent. But it helped a little bit.
David, come here. Yeah. Come here. Come on.
You don't have to be on camera. You can just do it audio-wise. I'll commentate as he walks up.
Come on, David.
Maybe cut to the wide as he cuts across my camera.
Yeah, stay on Joe's single.
Yeah,
you're all right.
He's not in shot there. If you just say it.
Say it with your voice.
Come here soon.
Much better.
Yeah,
you smashed it. Well done, David. You've saved them.
Cheers, mate.
You've kept them in employment for at least another week.
One more week. Here we go. United are closing in on a deal for Bryan Mbeumo after a breakthrough, sources have told ESPN. This is friend of the channel, Rob Dawson.
Yes.
We've not had him on for a little while. We should get him on again.
Your mate, get him wrong.
We often get him on during the tour, so we'll see if he'll come on this summer. Source, what are you doing?
Hang on a minute. I'm trying to work out which way it was.
Other way. Other way. There she is.
Is that it?
That's the ticket. I don't know what that means. I wonder what that's about.
It's an anime thing, I think.
It's an anime thing.
Don't you know?
Are you into anime?
Am I?
What is it?
One Piece.
Lovely.
Is that anime?
Yeah.
Yeah, my lad watches that.
Really?
Yeah. Love all that, mate.
Nice. Isn't it a bit... Doesn't that have sort of adult themes?
What's he questioning my parents' skills now?
No, I didn't know. I've not said anything like that. Cut to producer Cam while Jay beats me up.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, here we go. United are set to pay a base fee of around £60 million, with potential bonus payments taking the deal towards the £65 million mark. And Mbeumo is waiting for permission from Brentford to undergo a medical and finalise personal terms. United sources have told ESPN that talks are progressing positively and that the club are growing increasingly confident an agreement will be reached before Ruben Amorim's squad return to pre-season on July the 7th. You like the phrase there, Mbeumo is waiting for permission from Brentford to undergo medical. You like that, didn't you? Why did you like that?
I don't know, it just tickled me a little bit. He's like waiting for permission from Brentford.
Like he's on the treadmill with all the mask stuff on and like tubes coming out of him, but I'm not pressing start until
Go on, give me permission.
Give me the word.
Yes.
So it seems as though today we've seen a few people just pushing this on a little bit more, doesn't it? It seems like we've now got the basis of this deal. The £60 million bid that came in recent days seems to have not necessarily been outright accepted, but it seems to be the basis for this deal. It's like, right, 60 million, we love that. we're not going to shake your hand exactly, but I think with some minor tweaks, that is your initial payment. That is how much Man United are realistically going to pay for Mbeumo, with some little bits of add-ons that just need to be ironed out.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought it might be under the £60 million mark, and then add-ons to get it over. I just thought there might be a bit that way. United can say 55 million, and Brentford can say we got 65 million, and they can both be right. A little bit like similar to what we did, I think, with Mason Mount, where it was like Chelsea was sort of including add-ons and we weren't. So both clubs can sort of save face almost, and Chelsea can go, well, we got 55 million for Mount, and United can go, well, we only spent 45 million on him. So I thought it might just be under that. I was just a hunch, and I was obviously wrong because I trust Rob Dawson. It all makes sense. 60 million quid-ish is about right. A player scored 20 Premier League goals. He will be 26, I think. We were talking about this with Laurie Whitwell earlier, by the time the season starts. So if he signs a 4-year deal and you spent 60 million quid on him, and you have him for those 4 years, and he does what you want him to do, it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's a good deal. Even if you don't get anything from him at the end of it, you don't sell him on, you've still got good value there. It's once you get sort of 70 million, feels a massive step up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's when it's like you're into sort of the most expensive players in United's history type sort of scenario, and real questions got asked. But no, I want Mbeumo. I like this deal. I think it's okay. I think the wages are okay, and I think he's a fantastic player. And I'm excited about the prospects of seeing Mateus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo playing for Manchester United. As someone pointed out in the chat, he's got hair on his picture. Darren, who's been a member of the first team 54 months, says, great show, guys. Love the energy between the two of you. Looking forward to the pre-season and the season. Like the video, up the Paddock, GGMU. Thank you for that.
Nailed it. Love that. Thank you.
I'm going to welcome Phil McCavity to the academy.
Which one?
Robert Cobb. Welcome to the academy as
Bobby
well.
Cobby.
Bob Cobb. That's the maestro in Seinfeld. Mark Hatton, who's been a member of the academy for 54 months, says, who promoted Joe to Paddock's captain? You'll swim in circles with only one armband on, mate. I said this before. I said you look like Michael Jackson with your little armband.
There's a touch of Michael Jackson to this.
Remember when he had that on?
Yeah, I do actually.
Jasu Bengenboy says, now when Leon is going down, some good player will be cheap to buy as goalie Perry and striker Georges Mikatudzi. Darren, I've already read. Shane Cunningham says, you two ever consider going Dublin for a Paddock game? Didn't you? It was Maka who went to Dublin for the Paddock FC game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, do you know what? No. Not that, right, not that I'm
emphatic and
no,
rude.
because it's just a thankless task, innit? Because, right, you'll play like 2 minutes innocently. Oh, lad, we'll have a little cameo, we'll have a run out of Paddock, and then just get trolled mercilessly for the next year, which is what happened to McCullough because he missed a chance. And it was just like I never heard the end of it. And I might go and watch, but I won't take part. That's all I'm going to say.
Interesting display of cowardice there, Joe.
Oh, are you going to play then, are you?
I will do, but I'm injured that day. I mean, I'm busy.
If you're injured, then...
No, I'm busy that day. What day is it? I mean...
it's the 4th.
Oh, I've got to do this,
Yeah, I'm doing content.
I've got to do a big shop that day.
Oh, have you?
We always do it on the 4th.
Oh, do you? Oh,
yeah, of every week. Right. Are you happy about this? I think we've spoke about Mbeumo so much. It's just we're kind of just giving these sort of updates until Manchester United announce it. But I personally think it's a great sign. I know you sort of said the same, didn't you? You like him.
Well, we're both allowed to like him, aren't we? We've said it since we were linked with him. Just it feels a bit weird because I don't feel the same sort of apprehension as I've done with previous United signings.
No.
Every signing we've made, almost post-Fergie, there's been an element of risk. It just feels like. Even the ones that were like Bruno, there's a little bit of the unknown with Bruno, wasn't there? Because some people, I remember them, were going, well, it didn't quite work out for him in Italy, and why is no one else coming for him? You know what I mean? What's going on here? Because there was rumours that maybe Spurs or Liverpool.
I love that. Why does no one else come in for him? It must be crap. Yeah, Bruno's crap.
Yeah, Bruno's not.
It's just such sort of inverted nonsense logic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got. I think in Mbeumo and in Cunha, we've got what you might describe as a couple of KQs, known quantities. Do you know what I mean?
KQs.
Just come up with that.
Have you just come up with that?
Yeah.
KQs.
Rolls off the tongue.
Known quantities. Yeah, I like
We've
that.
seen them in the Premier League. They work. And obviously, you're not guaranteed 20 goals a season, 15 goals a season, whatever. But there's a sort of base level that these guys are going to be at, injuries permitting, no matter what. And then obviously the sky, can potentially get pushed upwards a little bit as well if we have a bit of good form, if we have better players around them. Who knows? But if they both get double digits goals and 5+ assists next season, I'll be more than happy with that.
The last time we signed a striker or an attacker where you thought, that feels like it's nailed on, who would that be?
I felt that was Zlatan.
I agree.
Personally.
I would say the last one that I felt, because it was post-Latin, where I thought, oh yeah, this should work.
Oh, Lukaku.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I forgot that was
Because I thought
afterwards.
24
Yeah, that
goals
was
for
immediately
Everton,
after
whatever it
Zlatan,
was.
wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
thought, oh, Premier League, 24 or whatever he is, 24 goals as well.
Yeah.
Premier League proven. We've seen what he done against United, where he scored all them goals for West Brom when he was on loan. Oh yeah, he's going to be mint, and it just didn't work out. But I do feel confident with these two guys, and I think they seem to fit into the system that Ruben Amorim wants to play.
But even then, with the Lukaku, it worked out more than some of the big money we spent on non-Premier League players recently. It worked out more than Højlund did immediately, or Antony did, or Sancho did. You know what I mean? It didn't work out long term, but I'd take the 17 goals that he scored in his first season.
42 goals in 96 games, as I like to often say.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'd take that on the fact that I always say it.
You love it. You absolutely love
I
it.
love that
I'd
stat.
take that.
Yeah, I would.
But again, instead of being 75 million like he was, 60 going up to 65, it feels very different. It's got lives a different
There's
taste in the
also
mouth.
a nice sort of balance here, because there's 2 new signings coming in.
Yeah.
None of them are. I mean, I know he's scored a load of goals and so skiing, but it's not like you're the number 9. It's all on you.
No.
2 10s coming in. Can you get the goals between you? And obviously, someone else in that sort of front 3 will contribute. So it's a little less pressure than perhaps was on Romelu Lukaku back in the day.
Right, should we move on to a
Yes.
slightly cheaper option? Here we go. Stiff competition stalling our Ardon.
Pathetic, puerile, disgusting. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Hey, Ardon jokes.
Could the producer come with you two chucking
Hey,
these?
look, is he eating a banana as well as him?
What are you eating that for, you sick freak?
Look at me, comedic.
Spit that
timing.
out now!
Hey, I'll just.
Spit that
when he goes to
banana
put-
out!
Let's make an Ardon joke
He's
while we eat a
choking on
banana.
it, bless him.
But look at it.
Stop
Oh,
it!
mate, filth.
Sick
Oh,
of
so-
you!
Get off, producer cam.
Turn it off!
Turn it off,
No
please,
more of
right
that! He's gonna be sick! He's had to go.
Oh my God.
He's
What
left.
is going on? Pure filth.
He's gone. He's passed out. Jesus.
I'm ashamed for the first time. Well, the first time this week. I'm ashamed of this channel. Do you like this Ardon joke?
That was a real bit that they just did there, wasn't
Wasn't it?
That was like being in a room with fucking Chandler
Sort
Bing.
of bawdy comedy.
That was unbelievable. It was like Faulty Towers or something.
Did you like that? Did you like? I forgot
Yeah,
talking to you.
you've read the word hard on it, you've got your catchphrase out. Did you like that? Man United, 34 million.
Got your catchphrase out. Did you like that? It's not my catchphrase.
Well, you say it. Right,
Right,
let's
go
just
on.
all calm down a little bit.
Right. Do you like the pun?
I think that what it led to was a nice moment for us all. So for that reason, I like it. The last 90 seconds of my life were really enjoyable, and I have to give them credit for that. As a pun, hate it. You?
Right, okay. Stiff competition, stalling our Ardon. I like it.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
I like it. This is what separates us from Sky News.
Yeah.
You don't get this kind of filth on Sky Sports News, but you get it on Stretford
You
Paddock.
simply couldn't ask for this sort of
No,
filth on there.
we'll revel in it. So yeah, very good.
Yeah, really well played. This is coming from the Mirror. Man United eye £34 million midfielder transfer as AC Milan lead the race for Ardon Jashari. Manchester United have held talks with the representatives of Club Brugge midfielder Ardon Jashari. AC Milan are currently leading the race for the highly coveted 22-year-old after submitting an opening £25.6 million offer. Milan's bid is worth a base fee in the region of 21.3 plus around 4.3 in add-ons, but Club Brugge are requesting a £34 million package, which is €40 million, in order to agree to a sale. Manchester City also had considered a swoop for the Belgian Jupiler Pro League Player of the Year prior to finalising the arrival of Tijani Reinders from Milan for £46.3 million. I've looked into him a little bit.
Yeah.
I've looked at some of his numbers. I've had a look at some of his recent games, some highlights of recent games from him.
Yeah, sorry.
And I have made a very early sort of review in progress opinion of him. I think he's a good player. His ball playing ability is very good. He's very confident on the ball. I think he's not a kind of tactical, sort of destroying, physical kind of player. I would say in the Premier League, my concerns would be that he potentially lacks a little bit of pace.
Yeah.
I saw him get bullied and pushed out the way a little bit by Morgan Rogers for Aston Villa. Just couldn't match the sort of physicality and athleticism of Rogers, and that's a big part of Rogers' game. So it's not necessarily, the biggest criticism of all time, but Rogers kind of, one of them where they kind of go shoulder to shoulder 2 or 3 times, and every time Rodgers was getting further and further away, and then he got past him. So I think he's a good player, but I don't know much about him realistically. But he's a kind of ball-playing central midfielder, but he can play deep, maybe in that sort of, obviously nothing like him, but sort of, how Modric would sort of drop and get the ball off the centre-backs. Yeah. He can do a little bit of that.
No, I mean, I've done even less research on him than you have.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. One to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend I sort of know much about him. If the fee was around the 20 millions, then you'd be all right. But if they want 30, you think, well, it's worth a punt.
Yeah.
That's relatively cheap for a 22-year-old midfielder who's obviously got quite a little bit of a reputation as well. 34 million, that's when you have to start thinking a little bit more. I don't think any of this is going to happen if we don't sell some players anyway, because we were talking about this with Laurie, weren't we? It looks like we can get, obviously the Cunha deal's done, Ardon Jashari we can do without any sales. Anything after that is going to be sales, so we would have to move some players on. But maybe they're looking at it going, look, 22 years old, 20-odd million. If he comes and he does all right, but he's not quite good enough, we can still get our money back. And if he comes and he smashes it, then you've got an absolute bargain for 20-odd million. Let me know what you think. Joshua Bowater says, great ball playing ability and can play deep. Had to be on purpose. Laughing emojis. I think that's still on the add-on thing there. Furious maths debater.
Come on, Jay.
Debater. Has Joe been scrapping again?
No, but actually, just a quick one. Someone, do you know we talked about Lizzie Skydive on here a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, how did that go?
It got postponed, it's this weekend.
Right, okay, so you can still donate?
You can still donate, but someone donated, one of our fans donated, which is fantastic, and Lizzie screenshotted it me and sent it me, and it just said, money for Joe to scrap behind Asda.
That's class,
and Lizzie's boss saw it and was like, what the hell is this? So whoever did that, thank you, and he got the desired result. It freaked her out a little bit.
I love that. Synthetics, welcome to the first team. Joseph Deeks, if United had 120 million and got 2 players for 60 million each, but spread the payments over a few instalments, could we potentially sign more players without selling? Potentially, I think we're sort of stretching it a little bit now. And I think the after Mbeumo, we might need some sales, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
we might even need to just get people off the wage bill. Hit that like button as well, please, people. I'm going to come back to you in a sec. Over 2,200 people watching, less than 300 likes. That is a disgrace. Go on, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I think that is included in people saying we need to sell players. I think that us spreading it out is considered to be like, yeah, of course we're doing that. But even with spreading it out, we have to sell players.
That's what Laurie was mentioning earlier, wasn't it? Hit that like button, please, people. What's next?
What we got? Let bro cook.
I love this.
It's kind of.
I love it. It's so good. I know, honestly, that's one of my favourite puns. Let bro cook. It's fucking class. Yes, isn't it?
It's good. Simple to the point. It's using a bit of sort of Twitter jargon. Tell her just fall off.
No, it's just me staggering into it with I couldn't handle the greatness of that pun.
Very good. I like this picture that we've seen of this guy as well. It's the only one I've seen online. He's holding some sort of luminous pie, which hopefully is going to fill the players full of confidence. I don't know, what is that? Like a stuffed pumpkin or something? What even is that? You can see it better on that screen.
No, that's... is it not meringue?
Yeah, but look on that one. It doesn't look like it on there when you look at it on the big screen. That looks like a squash. Some sort of gourd-based. It looks like someone stuffed a cauliflower in a pumpkin.
I like the facts as well, that he's not a big lad, is he? But you can tell he eats.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You want that in a chef, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't like it when I see scrawny chefs.
No.
I think you're not even scranning yourself all day long. What are you doing?
Yeah.
The food can't be that good.
Probably just, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. If you can resist your own food, you can't be that good at cooking.
Rubbish, mate.
Think of all the great chefs. They weren't skinny as a rake.
No, they weren't, but they had a bit about them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
He could tell he likes his scram.
Marco Pierre White.
Who's that? Was it Jay Rayner?
Yeah.
He loves a bit of that, doesn't he?
I think he's a reviewer.
Is he a reviewer?
Chef.
All right, I don't count him.
But what about
Delia?
Yeah, Ursula Goodwin.
Nigella Lawson.
Yeah.
She is a full-figured woman. Yeah, I think it's safe to say.
Very 90s turn of phrase, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, she was a 90s icon.
Yeah, that's true. Even Jamie Oliver.
No.
Sort of, but, what?
Jamie Oliver.
He's got a little something.
He's put it on, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you remember like the Naked Chef back in the day? He was only skinny.
Yeah.
And then he's put on weight, which is good. That's what you want from people who are cooking.
Yeah.
I want to see them not eating. So this guy, I like it.
I want the buttons pinging off their chef's
Yes, that's it.
what I want. Yeah.
That's it.
Let's
Do you
read
know
into
what I mean?
this. United have appointed Will Carvalho as the new head performance chef for the men's first team. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
I kept reading it as chief, you know.
Come on, what are you laughing at there?
Nothing. I'm not
Right.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, right. He joins from Brighton, where he has been executive performance chef for the past 2 seasons, and replaces Omar Mezian, who left Old Trafford last October. We haven't eaten since. Before arriving at the Amex Stadium, he worked as a performance chef. What the fuck is that? For Brazil's women's team for more than 12 and a half years, for Gloucester Rugby Union team for just over 8 years, and for Scottish Rugby for nearly a year and a half. Carvalho's appointment is the latest in a string of changes behind the scenes at United over the past few months. This is according to Training Ground Guru. Your thoughts?
This is the most bizarre statement, story we've ever had.
Yeah.
It's like listing like he worked for Brazilians women's teams at Gloucester Rugby Union. Like, what the fuck is going on?
He's got a hell of a career.
Yeah, he's done really well.
20 years worth of. He don't look that old. I would
No.
have said he was only about 35.
No.
Oh, what do you think he looks?
He's at least 38.
Yeah.
How old is he? Can we find out?
I'll find out.
Thank you.
I don't think he looks that old. To say he's got 20 years in professional sport
That it is
as
good.
a specialist head performance chef.
Yeah, I'm glad we got him.
Me
Do
too,
you know what I mean?
honestly.
I didn't know who he was
Without
an
that,
hour ago, and now I can't live
cooks
without
at
him.
full screen again. Without that stuffed cauliflower jammed into a big courgette thing that he's got there, I don't know how we're going to finish top half, so I'm glad we've got him. Well done.
Abhinav Verma, who's been a member of the Academy for 50 months, says, is the chef signing a done deal, a medium rare deal or a raw deal? Also, Joe,
Very
when's
nice.
your latest scrap behind Asda?
Not for a while.
Nur Sleeman,
I've got to let my
welcome
wounds
to the
heal.
Academy. You what, sorry?
I've got to let my wounds heal.
Have we found out how old he
I
is?
can't find it anywhere.
Do you mean you can't find it
I don't have a
anywhere?
Wikipedia page, so.
Oh, well, that must be it then, if he's not got a Wikipedia page. That's the only way of getting any information whatsoever.
Yeah, why don't you go down to the fucking library and put in a freedom of information
fucking hell.
request like Jay would?
Like, oh, he's
In
not
the
got a
next
Wiki.
6 or 7 seconds, if possible.
What's this guy's name? Will Carvalho.
William Carvalho, you know you're going to get the central midfielder that plays
Chef.
for
I'll
Port
be really
Elizabeth.
embarrassed if you find it quick.
Go on.
Right.
Yeah, that's him. That's the other guy.
Hang on a minute. It's all right. I've got...
You're not going to find it. Oh, head chef, their performance chef Will Carvalho.
40.
He's
There,
40,
you
he's
see.
found it straight
See,
away.
it's funny how you found it. There, look. No, he's
40.
not. He's 42. Thank
I
you.
just said 42.
Yeah, it's funny how you found it when I started looking, didn't you?
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
change your
fine.
mind then.
Right, so he's 42.
Right.
And he's been in the biz for
Yeah.
min 22 years.
Yeah.
Actually, 23 years.
Yeah.
So he's been cooking at the top level of food and sport
Yeah.
since he was a teenager. He's essentially the Wayne Rooney of head performance.
Do you think there's a
Cheffery.
scenario where he could get
Minutes for United.
blamed or complimented on United's performances?
He'll get blamed.
Do you
There
reckon
will
there
be
is a scenario
a
like where-
YouTuber
I reckon
that blames him for us losing the game.
Like someone puts on a bit of timber.
Yeah.
One of the players.
Bit of Urian.
Yeah, gets caught out. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Doesn't get out of defence quick enough. The opposition score. Someone blames him.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, go on.
someone will have a stomach problem before
Yes,
a game.
yes.
And this guy's getting death
Will
threats.
Carvalho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where you live. That kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can imagine it, can't you? Yeah.
That's the toxic hellhole that we live in, Jay.
I look forward to seeing those
Yeah, I do as
those
well, to be
comments.
fair. And if anyone does see it, please tag me on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'd like to
welcome
see it.
to United, Will. Good luck.
Yeah, welcome. What we got next? Jadon Sancho. I think we've had that before, but I don't mind it. What? Don't you like it?
I'm just sick of this.
Oh, right. Yeah, let's get into this. Juventus, I had never liked that picture of him.
It's that one, isn't it? It's that one. We do this all the time, but look. Look how big his head is. Look, go on. Look at that.
And
You
I've
could
got
fit two of
I've got
Joe's
some
heads
head.
into that Sancho head.
Yeah, and it's that single line across it as well that looks like a sort of seagull.
Yeah,
Cartoon
I'm not a big
seagull.
fan of that picture.
No, I think he looks better on others. Juventus are expected to hold further talks with United on Wednesday over a deal for Jadon Sancho. The clubs are believed to have scheduled a video call. Lovely. Fucking hell, they've got the link to the Google Teams meet to discuss a potential transfer for the winger. Juventus want to beat their Serie A rivals Napoli to sign Sancho. Sky Sports News has been reporting that United would prefer to sell the 25-year-old with the valuation thought to be around 25 million. Sancho has 1 year left on his United deal, which includes the option of a further 12 months. He was signed for £73 million from Borussia Dortmund in the summer of 2021. Napoli have Sancho on a list of wingers they're interested in, along with Liverpool's Federico Chiesa. Sancho would need to take a pay cut in order to sign for them. That's according to Sky Sports Italy.
Depends how much he's willing to take on that pay cut. Yep. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the 250k he's reported to be on at Manchester United. So Chelsea, I think, offered him 90k a week. I understood why he didn't go that low. Yeah. Say low, but in relative terms, compared to what he was on. If Napoli can come in with something that isn't too drastic, then hopefully he'll take it, because we need him gone, don't we?
Isn't it amazing that, I know this is just, but like, if you've got a mate who earns 90k a year, you're like, doing really fucking well. 90 grand a year is a lot of money. Yeah. And like and I don't, like you said, I get it in your perspective changes on life, but the idea of like 90 grand a week. So if your mate's on 50 grand, 90 grand a year, we're offering him 52 times as much as that, and it's too big a loss of sort of cash and earnings. It's a mad situation that footballers find themselves in, isn't it?
It is. I mean, everyone hates on Jadon Sancho, and everyone's like, a lot of people just be like, you should just take that pay cut, you should just go to Chelsea, whatever. I understand that argument, but I do have a little bit, it's the only time I might say this, I do have a little bit of sympathy with anyone asking to take a 2/3 pay cut.
No, I do get that.
You live within your means, don't you? If your means are up there and that's what you're earning, then he's probably used to that. So it might be a bit of a ask for him. And also, it is a short career, and he's probably thinking, well, why should I take a 2/3 pay cut when I don't have to, when I can just go somewhere else or stay at United? So I understand it, I do. I think had it been like 180 a week, I'd have been like, he should have took that. Yeah. It's like, that's, do you know what I mean? Like, close enough, and it's still a load of money that you think, why not? But for him to take a cut, I get it. I understand it, even if I'd rather he did. I see where he's coming from. However, I'm hoping that, let's be honest, it's not like we're the only ones that know that. Sorry, I said Napoli. Juve know that. They must know what's going on at Chelsea. They must know that he was offered that money and it wasn't enough. So I'm presuming that they can offer him better than that, a deal that they think he'll go for. Otherwise, what's the point in having this video call? Do you know what I mean? What are your thoughts? Do you think he's going to go?
I said a similar thing to Laurie earlier. I don't know if people missed that, but make sure you check that out if you haven't seen it already. I'll chat with Laurie today, but I just think he needs to get out of England. I think the league isn't right for his play style. I think he's not physical enough. I don't think he's got that sort of, I'll fight for every single ball, no matter what, kind of aggression to overcome the fact that he's not quite physical enough. Get to a slightly different league that prioritises different things. I think he could really thrive still, but he's in his mid-20s now. He's not a kid anymore. You need to start playing some football. He needs to start being happy and being respected and loved by a fan base at some point, because otherwise his career is just going to sort of fritter away, and he's not only going to have not lived up to the potential that we thought would be, world class, he's going to never really had a home as a player. And I do think every player, especially one who is talented like Jadon Sancho is, he deserves a bit of that. He should be trying to get that. So go somewhere where he's going to get minutes, play well, have fans who love him, and take a bit of a pay cut in the meantime. I don't think that's a problem at all.
He's just flattered to deceive ever since he's left Dortmund, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Even when he went back there.
He was
had that great game in the semi-final first leg, was it, against PSG?
Yeah.
On the whole, it wasn't an amazing loan spell. If you actually look at those performances, look at some of the reviews of those performances, those player ratings, and what the journalists were saying about his return to Dortmund, he started off quite well, then he had a big lull, then he had obviously the Champions League semi-final game where he was mint. Other than that, it wasn't amazing. No. The spell at Chelsea, he scored in the Europa League conference final. Again, did quite well when he started. There were some goals and assists, but he had, again, this sort of, I think it was like 15 games in the middle where he didn't do much. I think it was after the Brighton game, his own fans were booing him and trolling him online. I think they played Brighton back-to-back almost. I think it was a cup and a league game, and the fans were laying into him saying he's not good enough and he can't be bothered. So it's just been sad to see, but it's his own fault, I think, a lot of it. I do think he could have done a little bit more. He could have stepped up a little bit more. And the whole Erik ten Hag fallout thing, I think, was completely avoidable. And I still don't blame Erik ten Hag for that.
No,
I still blame Jadon Sancho. I'm sorry, if you go to Manchester United, you go from Dortmund to Manchester United, you go into one of the biggest clubs in the world, 70-odd million quid, make the most of it. And he just never did. And he just never got going. And I think, okay, you might argue some of it's not his fault, but some of it is. And then now he's just sort of, kicking around looking for a club. A few people mentioned in the chat, he might end up back at United if we're not careful. He could do. We can't force him to go to Juve if he doesn't want to go. And then where's he going to be at? It's sad to see. Get involved in the chat and the comment and hit that like button as well, please. People, almost, how many is it? 2,700 people watching. We're not even got to 500 likes. Let's get to 500 likes.
What we got? Seems like a rock-solid signing. Now, this is pretty nice, because we're talking about Tolu Arokodare.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a tapping, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make
I don't
sense.
mind that. I don't mind those ones that are safe, but inoffensive.
Now, this is interesting, because the source is Sports Boom. Ever heard of him?
Who hasn't?
Me.
Sports Boom?
Yeah.
Where was Sports Boom from?
I don't know.
Go back to producer Cam.
Just to repeat that,
He went, say how you said it then, go on. I don't know. Sports Boom. Oh, it's my mate. He just started it this morning.
The interesting thing with this is, it doesn't matter because it's a quote. So, he's double bluffed you. Right, here we go.
I love it if this was an interview for like Sky Sports.
Yeah.
And Sports Boom have run it.
Just quoted
and we've
it.
decided to go with via Sports
We'll
Boom.
take the Sports Boom line.
Yeah,
on
the
this
Sports
one. Thank
Boom
you
have
very
got
much.
this one.
Here we go. €20 million bargain. Man United target Tolu Arokodare opens door to Premier League move. Someone correct me if I'm pronouncing his surname wrong, by the way. But yeah, I'm going with Arokodare until otherwise. Nigerian striker Tolu Arokodare on the radar of clubs like Manchester United could be a game changer for the struggling team. In an exclusive interview with Sports Boom, Arokodare clarified his interest in a move to England, specifically Old Trafford. Obviously, it's a dream to play in the Premier League, but I have my eyes on it for sure. Whatever options I have, I'll take my time and make the best decision. I'm a Manchester United fan, and if it happens, it would mean a lot to me and my family, Arokodare added. Jay.
So this is like an exclusive interview with Sports Boom.
Yes.
Right?
It's not.
Sports Boom on Twitter are verified. But you can
Guess how many followers they've got on Twitter?
3.
You're not far off. 85. Right, so they've done well getting that exclusive. I'll give them credit there.
To be fair.
Hey, they are absolutely smashing it with the 85 followers and getting
Well, they're the
exclusive
leading
interviews.
sports news and opinions with a focus on bringing you other stuff.
Yeah, that is impressive. Keep doing you.
To be fair though, they do seem to have an interview with him.
I mean, I'm guessing they're not making it up. Okay. We'll go with that then.
So he's playing for Genk at the moment, is he?
Yeah.
Are they in the Belgian league?
Yeah.
Yes. I think, have we played them? Or was it Ghent that we played?
I vaguely remember. Can't remember which one though.
So there you go. Nigerian striker Tolu Arokodare would like a move to Man United. No links or reports that I've seen anywhere that United are remotely interested in him, but let's not rule it out because obviously we want players who want to play for Man United, but unfortunately that isn't the only criteria, because if it was, we'd both be on the pitch for pre-season. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, it's just a full name Huggy says interview, aka asked him a question in the gym. Lol. Synthetic says this guy isn't even real. Chris Griffey says no, he's not. Utter wibble. It's like someone interviewed me and I said I'd love to play for United. And Dan United 94 just put Sports and Boom.
Very nice. Right, let's move on to our next story then. What we got? I'm gonna swing from the Chevalier. Very nice.
Love a bit of Sia, mate.
This is really good. A little bit of Sia going on here. The wig. Well, I don't know if it's a wig. It might be his real hair. The hair. The swing from the Chevalier. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We like that. A lot
Really
of
good.
positive
I think
comments
that's one
as
of
well
my
there.
all-time favourites.
Yeah.
I must say it was hard.
It was Harvey, that one.
Harvey,
not even
really
here.
good. Really
Harvey's
strong
gone. Is Harry alright, by the way? He ate that banana.
He ate the banana and went.
And left. He ate the banana and left.
He's gone home.
Unbelievable. He ate that nana so hard he left. Never seen that before. This according to Team Talk. Manchester United and Villa have converged on Lille keeper Chevalier. Both Premier League clubs have identified the French shot stopper as an option to bolster their goalkeeping ranks, with sources indicating active interest from both sides. Chevalier is valued around 40 to 50 million pounds, up to 60 million euros. Lille are holding firm on this asking price, and his contract runs until June 2027. It's not that long away, is it? It's only 2 years. Villa see Chevalier as a prime candidate to replace Martinez, with sporting director Monchi leading talks. Sources suggest that Villa have floated a 40 million bid, though Lille's valuation could push negotiations higher. Even though United have made an inquiry for Chevalier, we understand their primary focus is on Martinez.
Fair enough.
Lots of journo jargon in this one, isn't there?
Yeah, there was one.
It was steeped, literally bursting at the seams with it. Identified, goalkeeping ranks, indicating active interest. Yeah, holding firm, prime candidate. This is unbelievable ChatGPT-ery, this.
In it, sources suggest, bolster their goalkeeping ranks. Hey, it's been a while since we've bolstered our goalkeeping ranks.
Too long, Jay.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 40 million on a goalkeeper this summer, personally.
No, especially not one who got hair covering his eyes.
He's going to struggle to see there, isn't
Exactly, that's a bit daft. So,
See ya.
yeah, probably not worth the hassle. Let us know what you think. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Palmer Pine says, we love a good bolster. Brian Casey says, let's just go and get Diogo Costa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, do you remember the game he had against us? Where twice Rashford beat him in slightly embarrassing fashion at the near post in that 3-3 game away from home last season. I'm not saying, obviously, one game doesn't tell the career of a man, but I do feel like, I don't know, everyone's good until they play for us. And I don't know if that's always
I was
their
there in
fault.
that. I was at that game. Wasn't a great game, to be honest with you. But no, he didn't exactly cover himself in glory. Right, let's move on.
Interesting. Keep an eye on, but it seems like a lot of money to me. Do we want him? Indeed, we do.
Simple but effective.
Yeah. Wilfred Ndidi, isn't it?
Yes.
Manchester United showing interest in £9.5 million transfer for relegated Leicester star Wilfred Ndidi. You're already pulling faces.
There was a time we were linked with him about 5 years ago.
Under Solskjaer.
Yeah, and I remember like people going when Leicester came to Old Trafford once, and it was like, they've got a better midfield than us. I think they had, was it Yuri Tielemans, Ndidi, and someone else who was quite highly regarded. I can't remember.
They beat us in the FA Cup that year as well, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe
there
the
was
year
that
after.
one. Fred and Maguire had a bit of a stinker.
Yeah.
Yeah, people look at their midfield. Oh, they've got, you know what I mean? They've got a really good midfield. I just feel like Ndidi's fell off.
Who was it? Tielemans, Madison, and Ndidi?
That was it. Sorry, I couldn't
is a
remember the
good
third one.
midfield, to
Yeah,
be fair.
that's it. Nailed it. I
It is
couldn't remember the third one out of the three.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, look at their midfield. We've got McFred, who's rubbish. That's what everyone was saying.
They're your mates, are they?
Yeah, my knuckle dragging friends. So that was the argument being put forward. And my point is, at that time, around that time, Ndidi was seen as a sort of almost untapped gem. He's going to leave Leicester, he's going to go to great things, United should get him. Obviously, Tielemans gone at Villa and absolutely smashed it. Madison's gone at Spurs and done very well, to be fair to the lad. Ndidi is currently getting relegated with Leicester.
Again.
And he's 28. So
It's mad, isn't it? Because when he was 23, 22, 23, around that time.
Yeah.
And the talk was like 50, 60 million for him.
Yeah.
And United were desperate for a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And obviously, Solskjaer never got that defensive midfielder, which I think did sort of hamper him, especially in his final season. But it is mad that he stayed there through 2 relegations. They could have probably cashed in on him. I don't know if there's anything behind the scenes, any reasons why they never did. We don't need to suggest that just because he didn't go anywhere. But it seemed like a player who was going to go on to big things and then never really has. I mean, let me just read through the story and then we'll get into some of our thoughts on it. United are eyeing up a potential deal for Leicester star Ndidi, who is available for £9.5 million, according to TalkSport. The 28-year-old signed a new contract last year, which included a clause that would allow him to leave for a cut price fee if the Foxes were relegated. Leicester did end up dropping back down to the Championship, and the Red Devils are weighing up whether to bring in the Nigeria international to provide extra depth to Ruben Amorim's midfield options. However, they aren't alone in scouting Ndidi, with Premier League rivals Everton also considering a move of their own.
Yeah, not keen on this one. Look, you can get good players in bad teams. Roy Keane was relegated with Forest, and he's arguably the best midfielder we've ever had. Like, it can happen, but Roy Keane was, I think, what, 21, 22.
Yeah.
Had, obviously done very well over a few seasons for Forest and then moved on. He, like you mentioned, has been at Leicester a while now. 2 relegations. He's how old is he? 28. It just feels a bit... I don't know if he has what we need. I don't just want to go down this whole idea of, just get anyone. Just get him, he's a midfielder, we need midfielders, just get him. Well, why not just play Toby Collier then? Who's a youngster who might be the one you're looking for, I don't know, but he's a young player whose career's ahead of him, rather than a player whose career has stagnated at best. And I've never really seen much from him, not that I watch loads of Leicester, but where I go, he needs to get a move. He's wasted there.
Yeah. I used to think that.
No, how long ago was it that you were thinking
5
that?
years ago.
Well, this is what I mean, bro. It's like...
And sometimes I do
The others have gone, haven't they? And he's still there.
Yeah. Sometimes as well, I do think that when you make the move does make a difference.
Yeah.
Because I think momentum and confidence and just the standards that you set in your own game and your own life and your own professionalism do change depending on your environment and how, if you did take that step at 22, 23, I think his career could be very different to not taking that step. And he's the same player with the same talent, the same everything, probably still got the same work rate, all that. It will feel as though he's the same person, but just sometimes not making the right move can kill you. And
is it you that's spoken about Kyle Walker-Peters?
No.
Oh, I think James Ward-Prowse, sorry, you used to say.
Oh yeah, James Ward-Prowse, yeah.
Sorry, I think Kyle Walker-Peters, I think he's leaving Southampton finally now, his contract's run out. But you just mentioned, didn't you, with James Ward-Prowse, he was at Southampton for like almost his entire career.
And everyone said he's too good.
Yeah,
too good
and
for
then
him.
he went to West Ham when he was like 29 or whatever, and didn't really do much.
Fine.
Yeah, it was like, I think you're right. I think...
But then again, Arsenal are going for this kind of method. Like, look at who they're signing. Zubimendi's a bigger signing. But I think is it Norgard from Brentford that they basically agreed a deal with today for about 12 million quid. They signed Kepa from Chelsea. Is it Chelsea's permanently at? Yeah, for 5 million quid. They're kind of going for obviously they're not just going, anything's better than what we've got, but they're losing Thomas Partey. I know there's all sorts going on with him, but as a player, he's far better than Norgard. And they're just going, well, we need to win that position, just get him. So, maybe there is an element of, if Casemiro leaves, and if we don't have any money by the end of the summer, and if we don't get that athletic midfielder that Laurie Whitwell and others report Amorim wants, maybe you just chuck your final 10 million quid at someone like Ndidi toward the end of the summer. But you've got to hope we've got a bigger plan than a 28-year-old that we clearly haven't been that keen on for a long time.
If it came down to it, I'm not saying it would or it is doing, but I'd rather get someone like Paulinho from Bayern on a season-long loan for a year than him.
Yeah, no, me too.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would. I'm not saying that isn't even an option, but if you could sort of go, okay, we've got 9 million quid that we're going to spend on a midfielder, go and get someone like that who's had some good seasons in the Premier League of late. I know he's not worked out from at Bayern, or something like that. Or, like I said earlier, I would rather see Toby Collier being given a chance than going for someone who, I don't know, just not seen enough of him. Let me know what you think. I might be wrong, and you've got a good point there, Joe. Other clubs are doing stuff like that. Maybe we need to do it as well. Let me know what you think. Javier Guerrero says, but Paulinho could cost more in salary. Fair enough. Synthetic saying Jonathan David is a free. Chris Griffith saying Ugarte. I know
the difference between him and Ugarte immediately is I think he's 6'4",
right,
which obviously isn't. There's loads of differences between them. But if United want someone who is a bit more physically dominant, he's not hugely quick or a top level player, but he's tall. He's a bigger guy than Ugarte is, and you can't sort of fake that.
The trouble is as well, Leicester was so fucking shit.
Yeah,
it was hard to say.
That's where scouts come in. Someone who can do the job we struggle to.
Yeah, because like sometimes you'll see, like with Southampton, you could see why was it Tyler Dibbling, like people were looking at him.
Yeah.
And there was one or two. Even when we played him, you could see there's a player there.
Yeah.
Because I think home and away did quite well against us. I know that's not the be-all and end-all, but you say, actually, I can see why. And he's very young. I'm struggling to even remember.
Yeah.
I think you're right when you went back to that one from 5 years ago. Let me know what you think. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Could this be just an option if it's like deadline day almost and we haven't got anyone and we need a midfielder? Do we just go, fuck it, 9 million, maybe you can even get him down for a little bit if it's deadline day.
Yep.
And it's just worth taking a punt on.
Cheap as chips.
Yeah, cheap as chips. Pinch Weasel says, Emi Martinez makes some sense due to him being dominant on set pieces.
Interesting.
Steve M says, we're going to sell Mainu. He can't learn how to be an all-action midfielder before August. There's no place for him in the team. I couldn't disagree more. I would hate us for sell Kobe Mainu. I think he's a very talented lad, and I'm not giving up on a 20-year-old who's been mint for so many times for Manchester United. Any more?
Yes, we've got another story. What we got? Any betting he'll be a great player?
Oh, Tonali. Yeah.
There's the link.
I wondered what was going on there.
I was wondering what was going on. I couldn't get it.
But,
JJ Gabriel.
Yes.
Spotted at a pre-season training camp with Sandro Tonali. Just a quick one. A little lamb finally for you.
Yeah.
Despite being so young, JJ Gabriel has already established himself as a star for the Manchester United Academy. At just 14 years old. That's not young, that's not even born yet, isn't it?
No.
That's just absurd.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. At 14 years old, Gabriel is tipped as the heir to Cristiano Ronaldo's throne.
My eldest is 14.
Is she doing pre-season training camps with Sandro Tonali?
That's a good point. She's not. I might have to have a word. What, wasting your life.
Yeah.
Look at JJ Gabriel. Look what he's doing.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, you mock exams. Pathetic.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Get her on that. Right, let's get into this. He's been tipped as the heir to Cristiano Ronaldo's throne by Nike. In what form has that happened? What do you mean? First of all, who is Nike? Is that some Twitch streamer that I've never heard of? What do you mean he's been tipped as the heir to Cristiano Ronaldo's throne? This child has been tipped that as by a multinational conglomerate in Nike, has he? Anyway, I need to know a bit more about that. Having lit up the lower academy youth levels, United are doing everything to try and convince Gabriel to remain at the club long term, with his future yet to be decided. Now, as he likely prepares to commence pre-season with the under-18s next month, Gabriel has been over in Marbella training with Newcastle United's Sandro Tonali, who is a fellow Nike athlete. Wouldn't you love to know the situation in which JJ Gabriel and Sandro Tonali chatted about training together and how that came about? Is it just for a Nike advert or something? Why are they doing this?
I wouldn't have thought. I mean, I know obviously from what we gather here that Tonali is a Nike athlete.
Yeah, but so is about 650 other top footballers.
It doesn't strike me as the one that you'd actually be pushing forward for an advert.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
And also, if you were, let's say, what was he, 24, 25? If you had a mate who was that age and was like, I'm going to go training with a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd go, interesting. It would be a bit weird, in a way.
Yeah.
So it has to be for a professional, like an advert thing, because this whole thing has got the word Nike littered throughout it.
Yeah.
My guess is this is some sort of either shoot for Nike or they're doing a training camp for Nike athletes. There's no way Sandro Tonali's gone, oi, JJ, you big old
If there was a knock on the door,
14-year-old.
right, and I answered the door,
Yeah,
and there's a man stood there,
with his boots and his fingers like that.
saying, I've come to take Ellis for a kickabout,
Yeah.
then I'd say, no, you're fucking not, you absolute weirdo.
And why is there a roulette wheel spinning on your dashboard of your car? That's odd. I've seen those cats with the hands doing that, but I've never seen an active roulette wheel.
Like, what is going on here? Yeah, it all seems a bit bizarre.
It's got to be
doesn't it?
something to do with Nike, hasn't it? Because do we know anything about this, Ben? You can have a look. You can have a look. You could always have had a look before we talked about it.
No, don't put yourself out.
I can.
We don't want to interrupt
I'll
you.
fucking
Don't
chuck
worry
my
about
eyes
that.
across it.
Don't
Don't bother.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Don't you worry about that.
I love that. I can have a look.
I can have a.
If I'm not too busy.
Yeah, 11 minute. Go on, you can work it out, Ben. What people
YouTube
say?
says Jay is sponsored by Nike Hair Max.
Oh, he's done you there.
Yeah, he's done me. That's 1-0 to whoever that is, YouTube. Oh yeah, Pinch Weasel says, Jay, do you have a favourite Seinfeld episode? Yes.
Which one?
I think The Opposite is my favourite. We were talking about that before, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the opposite. I like those. I like the boyfriend. There's a few.
Here we go. We've got a picture here of JJ Gabriel he's wearing an England shirt.
Nathan Salt.
So Nathan Salt, JJ Gabriel training with fellow Nike athlete Tenali over in Marbella. Great experience for the youngster.
Must be a thing, innit, where they get all the Nike athletes together with some of the younger players and say, right, you can have a bit of a training session. So I'm sure it's all above board.
We are. Yeah, I'm sure it's all above board.
Question.
I don't think we need to scratch beneath the surface too far on this
one.
one.
It's definitely
Everything seems fine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn a blind eye to it. That's what I'm going to bloody do. When the court case rolls in a few years, we'll play this clip back.
Sam was welcome to the academy. Danny Shields, can't believe Jay has relinquished the captain's armband. Steve 218p says, much love Joe and Jay. Love watching you guys. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you've got the captain's armband. Any more for any more?
That's everything. We're
Thanks
done.
a lot. I feel like after the absolute shambolic start, the puns got much better.
They were very good tonight.
And they reached their zenith with the Sear one, the Chevalier one.
Yeah.
Which was chef's
One of
kiss.
your best nights in a while tonight for the puns. Well done.
So
After last week as well, which was sort of leave the game before the game leaves you tackle.
Yeah, it was.
Tonight was very good. Well done.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. Really good show. We're back in the morning with the news. Then we're going to have me, Joe, and Stephen Howson. 4 off the bar. We've also, as you may know, done an interview, or it's not even an interview anymore, it's more like just a podcast. It's just a chat amongst friends with me, Joe, and Laurie Whitwell. Go and check that out. Go and check him out on the Sloppy Joe's podcast as well. That's been Joe Smith. I'm Jay Motti. This has been Transfers Live. Shout out to the production team too.
Well done, guys.
Thank you, and thanks for watching.